Hello and welcome to another video by Day Night Gaming. In this video will be reviewing Monster Train, the video game on PC and Xbox Game Pass. In Monster Train, there isn't much story. It is basically a roguelike deck building tower defense style game where you try to survive from start to finish. But in case you are wondering what type of story there is, here is the opening cinematic that basically states that in the war of heaven vs hell, you play as the defeated bad guys frantically trying to survive. Just remember, like a wise man once said, you are bad guy, but this does not mean you are bad guy. So basically, in the aftermath of the war, hell has frozen over, and you are tasked with taking this final remnant of the pyre aboard the Bone Shaker train to rekindle the cold, desolate wasteland. But it won't be easy because the Gilded Wing will stop at nothing to destroy you and your cargo. Now please take note that this is for the base game known as Monster Train, and is not a review of the DLC known as The Last Divinity. Also, as a disclaimer, I must state that I'm not affiliated with Good Shepherd Entertainment or Shiny Sue LLC in any way, shape, or form. I did not receive any goods or services, and I'm strictly making this review from my own thoughts and opinions and was not influenced by the developers or have any contact or correspondence with them in any shape or form. So at its core, Monster Train is a tower defense game where you want to stop the enemy from reaching to the top of the train where your health bar is, or your pyre. So if you look at the top, you'll see this burning circle. At the top left of the screen, you'll see the 40/80. That's my current life. That's how much HP my pyre has. And underneath that, there are 3 levels. Now the enemies start at the bottom level and they slowly try to climb up the train to the top where the pyre is. Once they get there, they start attacking the pyre, and that's how your health starts draining. As you can see here, I went from 40 down to 34. And the enemies will keep spawning in waves until the final wave comes out where the boss is. When the boss climbs up a level, he completely destroys the level that he was just on. So you're going to see that here. Boom! He breaks that whole bottom floor. And he slowly starts to climb up every floor until he gets to the pyre. Now, what you want to be doing, what I haven't done in this section of the video, is you want to be placing towers in order to stop or defeat the enemies from climbing to the top. Even though this is a roguelike type game, whenever you start a run, you actually have quite a lot of customization options that you can choose from, which will help specialize and fine-tune how you'll play your current deck of cards that you're going to be running. Now, in the beginning, once you first install the game, you'll only have a few choices, but as you progress and play more often, you will unlock more and more clans as well as more cards and champions. Now, there are 5 clans to choose from, and you'll first start with picking your primary clan. Then, after that, you will pick from one of 2 champions that clan has available. After that, you'll pick an allied clan from one of the clans that you haven't already chosen, and then you will choose a card type that will go with that clan. Also, as you beat the game, you'll slowly unlock more and more Covenant rank, which is actually difficulty ranks. And also, you'll unlock the ability to add mutators, which will allow you to change how you play. But when you do add mutators, those games will not be counted toward unlocking Covenant ranks, and they are simply there just to have a little bit of fun. And you will slowly unlock more mutators as you play the game and achieve certain milestones. Alright, so let's go ahead and start a run so you can see how it looks like. When you first start a run, after you've chosen your clans, you will see that your map is randomized. The bosses and the monsters that you will find in the train map are randomized, as well as your starting cards. So here are the 3 starting cards that we started with. Then we get to choose a random artifact, which is basically a passive boost to your run. And then you would get to modify your champion at a Dark Forge. and this will specialize your champion into a certain way. Please take note that at the top left near your higher health is your current list of cards that are in your deck. So we're going to go ahead and open up this deck list so you can see what it looks like. Now, not every card is going to be randomized. Like these train stewards, they will always be in your opening deck list, and you're going to see that there are spells and there are champions, and then there are creature types like steward or imp or demon. Now, spells are one-time effect, things that will happen when you play the spell, and then the creatures are things that are going to be like your towers that are permanent fixtures until they are destroyed. And then after that, you're going to go ahead and choose one of the specializations from 2 choices for your champion, and this will help further specialize how you're going to play your deck. So then we're going to go ahead and start a battle, and as you can see here under trial, we're going to go ahead and turn that on, and that's going to add an increased difficulty but also an additional reward if we manage to beat the boss. And then you can also hover over the pictures of the creatures that you're going to be fighting against so you can see what they would be doing. That will help you decide if you want to increase the trial or not. And then here we go, we're going to go ahead and start a battle. And once again, the enemies will spawn on the bottom floor and try to work their way up to the top. Now, your champion will always be in your first opening hand, so it's not completely random on the cards that you will draw every turn. And of course, there are ways to manipulate your draws, which is nice because even though this is a roguelike, which has a lot of random elements to it to make every game fresh and new, it at least has some type of control that the player can exert in order to choose certain play styles that they feel like they want to play, especially considering they get the knowledge of what the enemies are going to be like. So here I'm going to go ahead and play my champion on the bottom floor, as well as a train steward. Now these are my towers that are going to help defend against the enemies, and as you can see here, there are 4 currently on the bottom level, and they're going to try to attack my towers, and then after 1 round of combat, if there's any alive, they're going to move 1 level up, at least, depending on if they are normal walking speed or if they're hasted. But my towers are also going to try and stop them, so as you can see here, I was able to completely eliminate the enemy, but they were able to destroy one of my towers. Now a new hand is drawn in the 2nd round of combat, and I'm going to go ahead and play another tower at the top level as well as at the bottom level, and I'm going to try again to defend against the enemy. So my towers are going to do their best, but as you can see here, they also have HP, just like my pirate has HP, just like the enemies have HP. So my current champion was at 2 health, and now I'm bringing it up to 8 health. 9 health after regen. So now we're gonna fight the boss, and as you can see here, they're gonna take out my champion, and after that the boss is gonna destroy the level that he's on, and he's gonna move up. Now, unlike normal combat, when it's a boss fight, he keeps attacking until he completely destroys his opposition on his floor, or unless he's defeated, and in which case will win the battle and exit the game. So he finally attacks over and over again until he's destroyed everyone on that floor, and then he destroys the floor itself. Then he goes up 1 level, and I get to play another set of cards. So here's what it's going to look like when I defeat the boss. And after that, we're going to go ahead and get our victory reward. And this is how you're going to augment your deck further as you continue to play. So we're going to go ahead and choose one of our cards from our random pack. These are all random. And then we're going to choose another reward. And after we're done accepting our rewards, we're then going to go into the map screen, and we're going to get to augment our deck a little bit more after that, which is really nice. So here we go, we're at the map screen, and now we have a choice to go left or right. And if we need to, we can scroll down farther to see what's ahead. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and take a look, and this is going to give us the information that we need so that we can make good choices on our way to the final fight. And there are 8 zones, and we've already completed 1, so there's 7 more zones to complete. So we're gonna go ahead and choose a path now. And the path we're gonna go ahead and choose is, let's go ahead and go to the right. So as you can see here, we're gonna open up our banner and we're gonna be able to choose a creature card, and these are one of our towers. And generally speaking, all of these banners are always gonna be from one of our 2 chosen clans, either our primary or our allied clan. And of course you can see which clan it's gonna be when you're looking at the map. So even though there is a lot of randomness to it, like I said earlier, there is a certain degree of control that the player has, which is great. But either way, it's still really fun to see what type of cards you're gonna get and how you're gonna change them. It's kind of like opening up a surprise egg. Also, the nice thing is the settings in this game are highly customizable. Now, of course, you have your audio, your graphics, your gameplay, change your resolution. That's all standard with a lot of games. And for a lot of these settings, of course, they're very slimmed down. But the nice thing is that they have an accessibility tab. Now, for someone like me, this is very, very nice because I have motion sickness and I wasn't sure if I could play Monster Train. But there is a setting for static battle background where the train doesn't move. You can turn off camera shake. If you have a certain colorblind mode that you'd like to choose, that's great. So there's a lot of things about this settings that are very welcoming, especially for someone like me. So I am very, very thankful for the development team to include these accessibility options. Now, before I get into my review of the game, I must state that I have had a long-running passion for playing collectible card games like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Legend of the Five Rings. I've played lots and lots of CCGs. I also have played a lot of tower defense games, especially from Warcraft 3 user-made mods. I've played a lot of tower defense games like Element TD, Gem TD, Winter Mall, all that stuff. So I definitely have a bias toward this type of game. I definitely enjoy this type of game, especially since it's a roguelike, which combines another third genre that I fully enjoy playing. So to be completely honest, if you like deck building games, whether it be collectible card games like Magic the Gathering, or if it's a tabletop deck building game like Dominion, and you also like playing tower defense games, and you also like roguelikes, well, this is a great combination of all 3 genres. I really enjoy this game a lot. I think it's very fun. I like the art style. I think everything about it's really smooth. I haven't actually had the game crash on me at all, which is really nice. And it's very friendly with my time. And what I mean by that is, to be completely honest, I play a lot of different games. I play MMOs especially. If you've been watching my channel, you'll notice that I have a lot of Final Fantasy XIV footage. And this game is really great because it respects my time. When I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV and I'm queuing as a DPS and I'm sitting there in a long queue, I can play this game in the background because it's turn-based. So when a queue pops for me in Final Fantasy XIV, I can Alt-Tab and go back to FF14. And once I exit that dungeon, I can get right back into Monster Train while I'm queuing for another dungeon. It's really great. This type of game is really great to run in the background. And I really appreciate it. The developers have made a very solid, stable game, which is great. It's very fun, and it's always fresh and new whenever I play it. So I always find myself coming back to it very often. But it is very important to note that this is a turn-based game, and it's not a game made by a AAA developer. It's not some Ubisoft or BioWare or EA game. It's just a very simple, nice game to play in the background. So I definitely recommend giving this game a try if you like any of the 3 genres I stated: deck building games, collectible card games, tower defense, and roguelikes. It's very great. This game is, I highly recommend it. I enjoy the art direction, the sound, the music. Overall, I'm very impressed with what the developers have created with Monster Train. But with all of that said, I can't give this game a perfect score because there is one thing that I had a big problem with. Now, I must state that I personally played this on Xbox Game Pass. I do not own the game, I played it for free through Xbox Game Pass because I have a subscription. Now, the problem I have, and I don't know if it's unique to only Xbox Game Pass, but whenever I load the game, because I have multiple monitors set up with my gaming configuration, the game will randomly choose which monitor to display on. So sometimes it's on monitor 1, sometimes it's on monitor 2. And that could be annoying because it could be on the window where I'm playing Final Fantasy on, and all of a sudden it completely obfuscates my vision. Now, it's okay, I can easily go into the settings, put it into windowed mode, drag it to the correct monitor, and then go back to border this. But it can be quite annoying at times, so that's my only negative, that's my only con to the game that I've found. So if you have multiple monitors, do keep in mind that that could happen to you if you're playing it on Xbox Game Pass. So I do wish that they had multi-monitor support in their settings menu, but other than that, I completely thoroughly enjoy this game, and I can easily recommend it to any of my friends that enjoy any of those 3 genres. So if you found this review interesting and you want to pick up this game, it looks like you can get it on Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X or S, Xbox One, or you can get it on PC either through Xbox Game Pass, GOG.com, or Steam. Thank you, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, consider hitting that thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that bell for future notifications on videos that I might be posting in the future. And in case you're interested in supporting the channel even more, I do have a merch website at streamlabs.com/DNGdangerous/merch. And until next time, take care, goodbye.